What is good, rookies? Welcome back to the locker room. I am your host and your favorite Kansas City girl, Kennedy Bright. And as always, what is said in the locker room stays in the locker room. Get your playbooks ready, guys. Okay, what is good, rookies? I know you're always tired of hearing why I go ghost y'all excuses. When I go ghost and I haven't posted in a minute, it's always me talking about something's happened in my life and that's what's caused me to not post. And I realize that's the only reason that's a real issue is because I've gotten to a huge place, but I've gotten to a place where I have not viewed my podcast as my platform or even any of my social media as my social media. And I have viewed it as what a podcast is quote unquote supposed to be like or what other people's is like. Okay. And so because of that, I then am like, well, this is what I could talk about for this week. Cause I want it to be like a real life kind of, real life things, but I'm like in real time is what I'm trying to say. I want it to be in real time, but I'm like, well, I don't want to talk about that because it's not really positive or it's not really uplifting, or things like that. And I'm like, but it's your podcast, it's your platform. You can make it whatever it is that you want to be. And so I say that to say these next few episodes, they're not super upbeat. They're not overly positive. I never give advice really on my podcast. That's never been like my category. And I need to go back to like my true roots and what it is that I really want for why I created it. Like I always say, like it's the locker room because it's meant to be a vulnerable space and you're able to be real. And so I want to talk about real things that I feel. And it got to a point once like I had like the stalker and stuff like that years ago. I got to where I knew people were watching me. I wouldn't want to talk about like really what was going on in my life because I was like, well, I don't want you thinking that my life isn't good or whatever, or you're like, yes, or I didn't want people to feel glad that my life wasn't going well, right? So I would try my best to like not talk about things, but I'm like, I'm at a point where I really don't care. And I want to use my podcast the way I created it, what I created it and intended it to be, and what I want to talk about it for. So these next few episodes, I'm just going to be talking about how I've, like today in particular, just like how I've just been feeling hopeless and how I just feel really defeated lately. And the next couple ones is about like the imposter syndrome of how I've been feeling. And I've been struggling a lot with being insecure about myself. Like there's a difference in having an insecurity and being insecure. And I really want to get into that because I've just noticed it and I don't like it. And I've always said when my intro episode, the biggest thing for me always was, no, I don't have advice. I don't have a blueprint. I don't have anything to give you to life, dating, anything. But what I can do is I can tell you the things that have and have not worked. That's for one. But I always want you to come to my podcast, listen to my episodes and be like, dang, I relate to this girl. Like, yeah, I feel the same way. You might not leave with an answer, but you're going to leave feeling like you're not alone. And that's just the biggest thing. And I think a lot of times for me, I viewed people's platforms as you have to offer people something in the aspect of something to take away. What about just they take away from hearing you or coming on your page like, I relate to you. I feel that. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to wait until now I don't feel depressed anymore. And this is what helped. Like it's not that. Sometimes people, while they're in the middle of the war with whatever it is they're battling, they want to hear that. They want to know like they're not alone. They want to know like that's for me. Let me stop saying people. That's what I look for. And that's the point in what I'm saying. I also have a huge rough part of like never wanting to come off as a negative person or someone who's just like, oh, she just trauma dumps. I never want to come off that way. And it's hard. And it is an insecurity of mine of like making sure I don't do that because I do have so much trauma. But a lot of it I don't even talk about in general. So there's that. But not wanting to come off or feel that way. So I just have to stay true to why I created my platforms, and the people who like it will like it and the people who want to leave can leave. Like it's just that's just how it's going to be. And but if you want to feel understood, you want to feel less alone, you want to know that it's okay, this is not just me going through this. Yeah. This is for you. This episode, the next episodes, and I promise the ones I put forward will be the same way. And I have to stop wanting to come to y'all once things are great. And I hope you guys enjoy this episode and the next ones to come. And let's just get into it. So I'm in like a huge different place than my friends. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, where your friends are in a different place. And I do have one friend who she never went to college at all to begin with. But other than her, all my friends, every single one of them, have graduated college and they are figuring out, whatever it is that they want. Although I have some that are in like the career field and then some that are recent grads. I was like, I gotta find a job and like what I want to do and stuff. But it's hard for me to like relate to them because it's like they can at least get a job in kind of almost anything and they'll just get paid more because they have a degree. Whereas for me, it's not. And my friend has like this hybrid job and she's like, you should apply. It's a hybrid job. Yada, yada, yada. I'm like, oh, bet. Like, I'll apply. And I went to go apply, but of course, I couldn't get the job because I didn't have a degree. And she got the job because she had a degree. Although she didn't like how much she was getting paid for it. And I'm like, I can't even get that pay because I don't have the piece of paper. No one cares that you have 3.5 years of undergrad. They want the full bachelor's. And so it becomes hard when I hear my friends like upset, like rightfully so, like rightfully so. But it's hard and I have to like calm myself down and be like, just hear them out, when they're upset about where they are in life or upset because like they're not getting paid a certain amount and things. I'm like, I'm not even getting those looks, just like I said, because I don't have a degree. So it's hard and it's also difficult because my friends all like to live their life, honey. They want to go on vacations. We need to go to games. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm like, girl, I am fighting for my life to pay my bills, keep my apartment, get what it is that I need to make sure that I'm okay to eat, things like that, putting gas in my car. I don't have the luxury of like buying nice stuff, going shopping, going on trips. We're going to this game. Like, what? No, I can't. Going to the club, going out. Who? Doing what? Like, girl, I'm not even going to restaurants right now. So it's hard. And my friends also, I have two friends who like have apartments. But other than that, all my friends live at home with their parents, which is so nice. They're so lucky. I wish I had that option, but they're all at home. So that's also another expense that they don't have to factor in. Like they have like cars, things like that. But I'm like, must be nice that $1,000+ $1,400 I'm paying for rent, not counting my dang utilities too. Like that would be something that I just would have to navigate between bills and my expenses, buying clothes, having vibes and going places. Like that would be so nice, but that is not my situation, nor is it where I'm at. So that's when it gets hard to relate to them. And sometimes it's like I just don't want to talk because I don't think you understand it. And like me and my friend are supposed to go to a concert, the Raw Wave concert. She's coming down here. I'm like, actually, yeah, I looked at those tickets and they were like 200 plus. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going. Like, you can still come down here. We can still hang out. But like, yeah, you can come down here. We can still hang out. But as for like the concert, like, I just can't do that. I'm sure she's going to want to go like eat, go out and stuff. Like, I can't. Like, I literally am like fighting for my life just to have the bare essentials you need in this world. And it's hard. And my friends aren't insensitive. That's not what I'm saying. Like, they're nice. They understand or whatever, but it's like I don't think they feel me. Like they hear me and they know what I'm saying, but it's hard because I don't think they feel me. And I'm glad they don't. I don't want my friends to feel how I feel. I don't want my friends to struggle, but it's hard when you become in that different place, you know? And sometimes I've noticed I've had issues with that, like with my friend, the one like talk and FaceTime and talk about things, friends like guys. And I'm like, I don't even have the capacity right now to even talk about men right now because that's like I don't care. Like I have like other stuff like I'm really stressed about. You know what I'm saying? Keeping my home, paying my bills, keeping my car, food. And it's like I don't have time to even think about these ignorant fools that we choose to entertain. Like I don't even have the capacity. But I feel it's best to show up for your friends because I would want them to show up for me. You know what I mean? So I have to find that separation, that balance, but it's hard when you don't feel like you relate to anyone. Like I said, glad my friends don't relate to me. Like I would not wish that on them. But it does feel difficult and it feels hard. And like one of my friends is in the process of like, I think I'm ready to move out. And I'm like, girl, stay at home. Girl, stay at home. Stay at home. Girl, you should stay at home. And I got owed my friend a trip to Arizona. She came here last. Owed trip to go there. Girl, when? When, what, how, where? With what funds? You know? So it's hard because I miss out on like my friends' birthdays. Like one of my friends going to Miami for her birthday this month. My other friend's birthday was a couple weeks last week. And it was, in AZ, like I couldn't do that. And so I get to work, I miss out on things and they understand, but After a while, it feels difficult, and I begin to feel like I'm the friend that's the loser. I'm the friend that, I don't like. I hate saying those words about myself, but that's just how I start to feel when I feel very like I can't relate. And all of it starts to add up in the feelings. And then I start to feel worse. I was talking to, I'm not going to say that like God's not working. That's not what I'm saying. But I hate when I have moments where I don't feel this man. Like his music will come on. I'm like, turn that off. Like I really have just been feeling like I can't feel him. And I don't like that. And one of the hard things is that I don't go to my church anymore. And I think that's added to it. And it's a little bit of like, my friend was like, I think that's a little traumatic for you. I think it was like the experiences that I had with it to why I don't go there. And it's hard because that was a safe space for a very long time. When I was a flight attendant since May, that place, I would go there, I would hear the music, I would feel something and I would cry. Like it was a good place for me. Excuse me. And so I haven't had that. And the days that like I'll be laying in bed and it's rough, I'm like, I can't even get up and go to church to feel something. Like that was just like a good like therapeutic space and energy. And now honestly I'm like nervous and afraid to even try to find another church or try to find something else, because churches is very dangerous. You have to be very careful because you can end up literally in cults and they have you listen, okay? You got to be careful not to get manipulated. Churches are great, but you have to be, but I see, and that's the thing. I was blessed because I've grown up in a church that's not those things. So I was recognizing the red flags, recognizing the way they would talk, certain things that weren't of God or weren't right. But I already felt myself starting to get sucked in. But luckily, like I had that enough church awareness that I was like, this isn't right. So that's hard for me to have to let that go. And that's hard for me to feel that way. But that's just something that is also something that has honestly been adding to how I've been feeling, because I don't now have that like kind of security blanket of a safe space like it was. I never talked about where I went to church or shared it because being an influencer, my church was a safe place for me. But I'm also glad I didn't, because I'm glad I didn't recruit no one there to go there. And my relationship with God has just been a little bit difficult. Not a little bit, it has been. So overall, this is what I've just been feeling the past weeks and months, and I'm trying my best to find silver linings, to find hope, to find that things are going to get better. I do get my dog this coming week, and that is also I have fear, like I have severe fear of like abandonment issues. Like, oh my God. So I am really nervous about it. I'm worried about something happening to him being taken away. That was causing I went and paid for his deposit and like secured my spot to get him back in September. So since then, like these months, it's been weighing on me, and like, am I gonna do a good job? What if he eats something? What if, huge fear of something happening and not this man, but my dog is gone. So I'm doing my best to not feel that way. But that is something that also has been adding to it and adding to everything else I've been feeling. But I know I have to be hopeful. All in all, I don't know if anyone has been feeling like their life is not going as planned, that they're the only one going through something, that no one else can relate, that, I don't know, you just feel very hopeless, you feel lonely, whatever the case may be for you. You're not alone. You're not the only one that feels that. You're not the only one that is going through those things. As I've said before, I don't have the answers right now, and I wish I did. But when I figure out something, I'm going to let you know. I know for a fact I'm going to be here feeling this for a little bit. I know I'm going to be in this space for a while. But one thing that I will say that I'm going to try my best to do, and you should too, is try to see and figure out what it is that does make us feel a little bit better. One thing for me I've noticed is it's like really weird. After I take my bath at night, I watch whatever my show is while I'm in the bathtub. For me, right now, it's been Naruto for months. After I give myself that time, I take my bath. When I get out and I wash my face, I do the Jishwa, however you say it. I've noticed like my face has been sculpting a little bit. It looks a little good, okay? I do that. I do my skincare, work on, put an under eye cream on, things like that. Put lotion on and put on like nice pajamas or just pajamas in generals. But that I think adds a little to it. I notice I lay in bed and I feel a little bit better. It's something about I kind of like, I just, and brushing my teeth and the mouthwash at night. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm taking care of myself. And people say that all the time. And I'm like, girl, shut up. I feel good taking care of myself. Like, girl, what are you talking about? But I actually feel a little bit better. I notice things like when my apartment, when I wake up in the morning, there's nothing on my island. The dishes are in the dishwasher. There's nothing in the in the dishwasher. I mean, there's nothing in the sink. I go in my bathroom and everything's put away. There's nothing on my floors. I've noticed like those little things help me feel better. And so although our life may be a mess and our life may be not going well and we can't figure out how to make it better, we can't figure out how to help ourselves. And maybe we are like, dang, I don't know how I'm going to pay for my rent next month or catch up on my bills, whatever it may be. Those little things, whatever it is for you, it might not even be that. For some people, it's working out. I haven't gotten to a full place of working out makes me feel better. So that's why I didn't say that. But whatever kind of makes you feel better and feel accomplished and kind of can help you feel a little like, that's nice. Use those things and do it. And that's what I want to keep trying to do is give myself and create something for myself to feel better. I can't necessarily fully control the other circumstances of what I've been talking about in this episode, but pouring into me in just little ways of like my skincare and body care and making sure my environment in my house is clean, I can do that. I don't have to have fancy equipment to do it. I don't have to have all these things, but I can do that. And I will say those are the little things I will promise to do to myself to keep going until I am able to figure out how to feel better permanently. Another one is like, I don't know, I have antidepressants and ADD medication. Just make sure I take it every day. Look at you. You're doing something. And that's just what I kind of have to get to. So find whatever it is. It's one thing I can say that you could take away from the video is we're going to work on that and we're going to check in with each other and we're going to discuss it. But find something. Sometimes you might try something and it's not that. And it's okay. You might be like, I didn't feel anything. Okay, that's fine. And they say do it even when you don't feel like it. Another thing, that's another one that's been making me feel better. When I think of it, I make myself do it. I'm always like, if I go to bed tonight and I forget to brush my teeth, that is okay. Give yourself grace. But if I'm going to bed, I'm laying in bed and I remember that I should brush my teeth and I don't do it, that's when it's a problem. That's when it's an issue. So guess what? That's what we're not going to tolerate. You need to hold yourself accountable and be like, no, you remembered it. So my thing is anytime I remember something now, I'm like, go do it. I'm like, oh, then my makeup's still out. I finished my makeup yesterday for recording. I went and I put it away right then. Like that was just trying to do little things like that. And it's funny. I look at it and I'm like, wow, that felt a little better. I don't know how, but just doing something that comes to mind, doing it right then, I do begin to feel better. And so that's something else that maybe you could look into if that makes you feel better. I want to definitely work on a routine and a solid, structure for myself. I know when I created mine last week, that did help me to feel better. Creating that, I was like, I bet this is great. So those are just the things that I would say that I got to try to do something. I got to try to make something work. I got to try to do something better than what I'm already doing to help how I'm feeling. Like I said, you ain't got to have the answers. We ain't got to have everything figured out. But if there's certain things we know that we do like, certain things that help, certain things that are free of charge, don't cost us any money, then let's make it happen and let's do it. I hope these next episodes of just like little like point of views can help you guys, just like I said, not feel alone. Sorry, it's not a lot of advice. Sorry, it's not the answers, but I think it's my platform. It's what I want to do. And I think it could help people kind of come each week and hear something and be like, yeah, I feel pretty defeated, but it's good to know it's not just me that feels that way. There's nothing wrong with just me. I'm not the only one that life sucks, The next couple episodes, I think I'm gonna call this like this little series, like the point of views. Like, point of view, you have begun to feel insecure. Point of view, you have imposter syndrome. Point of view, you feel like you're the codependent, depressed loser friend or person in your family, because maybe I'd be feeling all those things. So I want to talk about it, but I really hope this episode helped. I'm sorry if you're a kind of person that you think this was just terrible and it was negative. I'm sorry. But if it did help you or you liked it, please be sure to like DM me. Be sure to DM me at KC Locker Room Talk, which is the podcast Instagram, or you can comment if you're watching on YouTube, or just let me know. Like, DM me, let me know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really see my personal DMs. They don't ever pop up. Like, and I never check requested, so that's kind of bad. But I would like to hear and know, just to kind of get an idea of feedback and what it is that you guys want from me. Because it is also hard. I'm always like, what do they want? I don't know what they want. And I feel like a lot of times it's like, what do you want to give us? And I'm like, you know what? That's how I need to be. I need to stop wanting everybody else to do the work and tell me what to do. I need to do it and just figure out what works. I will see you guys in the next one. I get my dog next week, so I'm probably going to record my next episode probably about right now, actually, just because my dad will be here and, I can't really talk with that man up in here. So I will see you guys in the next one. Please hold me accountable. If you do not see me, hit me up and get on me. I love you. See you in the next one. Bye, guys.